There was a groundbreaking verdict today in a case that could reshape social media as we know it. A Los Angeles jury found Meta and YouTube negligent, ruling that their platforms played a role in a young woman's addiction and mental health decline. NBC5's Stefan Holt is live in our newsroom to break down the ruling. Break it all down for us. Stefan?
So, Alex, Meta and YouTube will have to pay $3 million in damages to this young woman. She's identified only the case as KGM. We don't know her full name. She's now 20 years old, but she claimed using those platforms as a child led to her anxiety and depression. Mind you, this case was not about the content that you see on those platforms. It was all about how they're built, the argument that they were engineered to be addictive. Now, let's show you the reaction outside of the courtroom today in Southern California. These are the families who say their children were harmed by social media, and they are celebrating this verdict in a big way today. At the heart of this case were features like things like autoplay, algorithmic suggestions on things to watch, also endless scrolling. The plaintiffs argued all these features that the tech companies made were intentionally used to keep young users hooked for as long as possible. The jurors also heard emotional testimony throughout the trial, tying heavy use to depression, to anxiety, and even to self-harm. Now, the defense pushed back on these arguments. They said a lot of this comes down to personal responsibility. They also said a lot of this was from a lack of parental supervision. In the end, the jury didn't buy it. They sided with the plaintiff. We should know that TikTok and Snapchat were also named in this lawsuit, but they settled before it went to trial. So why does any of this matter? Well, $3 million, yeah, it's pocket change for these giant tech companies, but the precedent is huge. Legal experts now believe this could open the door to thousands of similar lawsuits, many of which are already moving through the courts. Some of the families spoke outside of court today.
And we're demanding safety protections and legislation to keep kids safe online from our legislators. And we have a message for them. We don't want any more hearings. We don't want any more loopholes in these bills. We don't want any more of them shielding big tech. Enough is enough. We want them to do their jobs and keep American families safe. And I think what we found right now is big tech is...
And these families have momentum now because the verdict comes right after a separate trial in New Mexico. Just yesterday, jurors found Meta liable for not warning users about the damages and the dangers of its platforms. They ordered the company to pay $375 million in damages. We did receive statements. We got statements from Meta and from YouTube, both saying they disagree with this verdict, and they now plan to appeal. They insist their platforms are safe. Allison, back to you.